The check hits your account on the second Wednesday of the month. And before you've even had your morning coffee, you're already doing the math in your head. Rent, utilities, groceries, medications, and somewhere in the back of your mind, a quiet voice whispers, "Is this really it?" If that's you, this video is for you. Here on Finance After 50, we don't do the fantasy version of retirement. Today we're going to talk honestly about something millions of Americans are living right now, but very few people are talking about openly. What it really feels like to live on Social Security alone. Not the financial planning version, not the magazine version where someone in khakis is laughing on a golf course. The real version. The version where you do the math 3 times, hoping the number changes. The version where a car repair, or a dental visit, or one bad month of electricity bills can feel like a crisis. That version. Here is the first thing I want you to hear, and I want you to really hear it. This is not a failure. Nearly 21.8 million seniors in America are living on Social Security as their only income. You are not an exception. You are not an outlier. You are not someone who got it wrong. The median American senior lives on between $1,000 and $2,000 a month. That is the reality for tens of millions of people who worked hard, paid into the system, and did everything they were supposed to do. Life happened to you the same way it happens to everyone. Medical bills, job loss, divorce, recessions, caregiving for a parent or a spouse. If you've lived long enough, you've been through most of it. And somewhere along the way, the savings account that was supposed to be there just wasn't. So now you're here, and every month looks roughly the same. The average Social Security benefit as of early 2026 is around $2,071 a month. Some of you are getting more, some of you are getting less. And the median rent for an apartment in the US is $1,607 a month. You don't need a financial advisor to do that math. You do it automatically now, almost without thinking. There's a particular feeling that comes with this life, and it's hard to describe to someone who hasn't lived it. It's not exactly poverty, and it's not exactly comfortable. It's something in between, a kind of permanent low-grade tension, where you're always one unexpected expense away from a problem. Fear, frustration, exhaustion, and even grief are common when your income doesn't cover your needs, especially after decades of work and contribution. You may feel like no matter how carefully you plan, it's never quite enough. And you probably don't talk about it much. Not with your kids, because you don't want to worry them. Not with friends, because there's a shame that comes with this that nobody warned you about. A quiet shame that says, "I should have done more. I should have saved more. I should have planned better." I want to sit with that shame for a moment, because it deserves to be named. Because here is what that shame is built on. Decades of being told that a real retirement looks a certain way. The financial industry has spent years telling you that you need $1 million, $2 million, maybe 3. And when you hear those numbers, and look at your own, it's easy to feel like you failed a test nobody told you the rules to. But here is what they don't tell you. The median retirement savings for Americans aged 55 to 64 is $185,000. Not $1 million, not $2 million, $185,000. The comfortable retirement the magazines describe is not the retirement most Americans actually live. You were never failing a standard. You were measuring yourself against a fantasy. And yet, here you are, making it work. Maybe not perfectly, maybe not without stress, but every month, you figure it out. You know which grocery store marks down meat on Thursdays. You know the difference between a want and a need in a way that people with bigger incomes never have to learn. You've discovered that dried beans and a little patience make a meal that tastes better than anything from a drive-thru. You clip coupons not because someone told you to, but because $2 saved on coffee creamer is $2 that goes somewhere it actually matters. You've learned which bills can wait a few days, and which ones absolutely cannot. You know your Medicare coverage by heart, because you've had to. You've called about your utility bill, negotiated a payment plan, asked for the senior discount without blinking, because pride is expensive and you can't afford expensive anymore. And quietly, without any applause, without anyone noticing, you have become extraordinarily good at something most people will never have to learn. Living precisely. Not barely. Precisely. There is a difference. Barely is panic. Precisely is knowledge, discipline, and a kind of calm that only comes from having figured it out month after month after month. There's something else nobody tells you. Some of the best things in this chapter of life cost almost nothing. A state park day pass for $13. A library card that gives you more books and movies than you could ever get through. A slow morning with real coffee. Made at home, drunk in peace, with nowhere to be. Time with grandchildren that didn't require a single purchase. These things don't show up on any retirement planning spreadsheet, but they are the things people remember at the end of a life. Not the vacations they took, but the afternoons that felt unhurried. And some people, when they've gotten the expenses down as far as they can go, find small ways to bring in a little extra. Nothing overwhelming, nothing that feels like going back to work. Maybe selling things they no longer need. Maybe a few hours helping a neighbor. Maybe something they never expected that turned into something real. Every little bit creates breathing room. And breathing room changes everything. I'm not going to tell you this is easy. Nearly 4 in 10 seniors, that is almost 39%, depend on Social Security for the entirety of their retirement income. And just because it's possible doesn't mean it's comfortable. There are hard months. There are scared months. There are months where you lie awake doing math that doesn't add up. That is real, and it deserves to be said out loud. But here is also what is real. You are more resourceful than you have ever been given credit for. You have survived things that would have broken other people. And every single month, you are proving that. This is the first video in a series we're building here on Finance After 50, entirely dedicated to the real experience of living on Social Security. Not the scary version, not the lecture version, just honest conversation about what this life actually looks like. In the videos ahead, we'll get into the practical side, the programs most people don't know they qualify for, the ways to find a little more breathing room. But today, I just wanted to start here, with the truth, with you, because if nobody else has said it to you lately, you are not alone in this, not even close. Nearly 21.8 million people are waking up to the same check, the same math, the same quiet worry. And they are still here, still figuring it out, still finding moments of peace in a life that doesn't look like the brochure. Just like you. If this video felt like someone finally said what you've been thinking, leave a comment below and tell me one word that describes how this life really feels. I read every single one. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that button, because this series is just getting started. I'll see you in the next one.